Well, hey everyone, welcome back to my channel and welcome to my stream. Welcome to another chapter working on this guy here, the Hot Rod Custom Model A Pickup by Revell. And I'll run the intro and we'll get started, shall we? Okay guys, so we are going to continue on with our build here. Last time we kind of got our bucket all put together here, our interior bucket I call it. I did masked off a little bit and I spray painted the bottom black because a lot of this is going to be visible through the holes, or this great big gaping hole here in the bottom. This guy, if we just carefully put the shifters through, he's going to sit down kind of like right there, and that's where his home is going to be. But for now at least, we're going to put on the doors, get his doors put on. The instructions would show you to put this down first and then put the doors on. I think though it's going to be a lot easier to manipulate this off of the chassis, and we'll do that. So we'll get our doors put on and hopefully we'll get this guy glued down today. So we're going to get to the point where we get to our doors. So I'll change the camera and we'll take a look at this here and see what's involved. I have a feeling that it's really just a gimmick because it looks like they want to put hinges on here and have the doors open and close. But based on the fact that this was molded in 1982 originally, I have a feeling it's not going to be that precise of a fit. Here's our doors. So we're going to find our little pieces here, L67, 68, and R68 and 69. No, R67 and 68. So we got to find them. I think that's going to be these guys here that are with the truck doors. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, it's all these guys here. Okay, so let's figure out which door is which. This, no. So this is our left door, and this guy's going to go in right there. Okay, just like so. And so let's put him aside. And so we want L67 and 68. There's the L67 right there. L67, and then we want L68. This guy here. Okay, there's 68. So 67 is for the upper hinge, 68 is for the lower. Now you can't really tell on this side where they're supposed to go on the interior, but they do kind of show it on this side. It's still a little bit of a challenge to see exactly where they go on the inside of the bucket. And of course this is why I wanted to do this like this. So they don't have any specific little notches or tabs or anything that they have on the inside. So 68 is our lower one. And I guess it's supposed to go they show a little bit better here. The hole doesn't go, the hole in here doesn't go all the way through. So we got a hole here, but not here. This is solid, okay? And they do show it here, that it's supposed to go down on top. So if we put it in here like this, on top of our pin, it goes like that. And then this is going to glue on the inside. this is going to be tricky because you kind of have to do it all as one unit. And then this would just glue in here like this, with the tab kind of sticking through this slot. But our tab is a little too big. To fit. And this is what I mean by this gimmick really not working all that great. It's nice they've done this for us, but I don't think it's realistic in its functionality. Because I put that on there, it's not going to fit through that slot. That slot needs to be opened up. And then how it glues in is not the greatest either. Yeah, I'm not going to bother. I'm going to glue my doors on. I am going to put the hinge onto this pin, this. If it'll go. Get on there. I'm going to put the hinge on the pin here. I'll glue this down on like this. But then I'm just going to kind of glue it in there. I'll get the door and I'll just put the door on like this. Even the way this is. The hinges sit forward a little bit. And so the angle that this would have to be in to go through is going to be sitting like this. It's just, yeah, it's just not a good setup. So I'm just going to trim this off just so I don't have these weird pegs. Just so I don't have these pegs sitting there visible. It's just a little weird. And I don't like it. So I'm going to trim this off. And my doors will be solid on there. So let's just put this on there. Come on. There we go. And I've got the little hinge on there. A little bit of glue. And in theory, yeah, it covers up the hole. It looks like the hinge now. Okay, so do the same with our upper one. Okay. Let's get that put on the pin. There we go. Glue. Turn that around. There we go. Hinges are on. I will say it's kind of innovative in that you don't normally see model kits with doors that actually are meant to be open and closed. That is a rarity indeed. I'm going to try and do the gluing all from the inside. kind of preserve my nice purple paint. So my black interior can be touched up, but the purple, not so much. Okay, so there's one door. In hindsight, I should have really just glued the door on first and then painted this thing. But, you know, I wasn't planning necessarily on gluing my doors closed at the time of painting, so yeah, I didn't know. Our tailgate also has a gimmick in that it can be open and closed also. So it's going to be interesting how that goes on. This is our tailgate here, and it's going to go on right here, like this, and I've got hinges also for it that go here and here. So we'll see how that does. Now the tailgate may be an option for being able to open and close, but again, you know, this isn't something I'm ever going to play with. You know what I mean? So I don't think that's really necessary either. Let's get our little pieces off here. 67R. Okay, and 68R. Come on. Okay. Grab this door. 68. Trying to position it in such a way that the piece I just cut off is actually facing inward. Like this. And having it kind of straight up and down as best as I can. There we go. And let's trim off 67. Oops, I just knocked 68 off. 67 doesn't want to fit over the pin. This one is a tight fit for some reason. Looks like I got a little bit of flash right here. It's stopping it from going on. Yeah, there we go. Let's get this turned around before I put the glue on. Okay. Let's put 68 back on. Okay. Just gonna hold them there for a sec. Some more glue. Okay. hinges are on again. Even if they're not perfect, they don't really look very nice. I don't know why this side seems to be all kind of cockeyed looking. They don't sit straight up and down on this side for some reason. It's just another reason why I'm of the opinion this was kind of a gimmick. It's an old molding, what do they call it? Old tooling, and the mold's not very crisp, and so it just doesn't. There we go. Let's get that door lined up properly. Alright, so our other door's on, so we'll have this very lined up. And I'm going to use this glue. This glue, same thing, it's still to me extra thin, but it's just, it doesn't dry quite so fast, so it tends to just do a little more work, because it doesn't dry quite so quickly. Alright, so we're going to let that dry. And we're going to take a look at, see now our next steps is if you're doing the truck one, okay, whether you're doing the soft top or the hard top, but we're not obviously not doing those. So let's flip our page, throw our little buds away here, and see. This is all for the truck cab, if you're doing all that. And we'll get down to our bed. And so we've got number 55 L and R are the hinges for the tailgate. Is that these guys? 55, yeah, these guys here. So let's get L. And see how these guys are going to fit. I have a feeling I'm going to wind up just doing the same thing with these. And this is R. I have a feeling I'm going to do the exact same thing with these. Let's put my body over here out of the way. The R is going to go like this. And then this flat spot, this flat tab, just goes in this little notch here, like this, and that's it. Now that's all well and fine, but that's not, I mean, it just looks hokey. I'll have to take some of this paint off here. Because in this case, we're not going to glue the hinge to the deck. We're gluing it just to the tailgate. I will try, and we're going to try it, okay? We're going to try it. So this is going to go like this. And I think actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little piece of tape around here just to hold it in its place so it doesn't accidentally go anywhere. I do find it a little humorous that on this side of the tailgate we've got the Ford emblem embossed backwards, but on this side of the tailgate there's nothing. Literally there's nothing at all. Okay. So let's put him in his home. Just like this. That's where he's supposed to go. Okay. So he's taped in where he's supposed to be. And then our hinges are supposed to go on here and just glue onto the tailgate. So I'm going to very carefully, because I do have I got a coat of primer, I've got gunmetal, I got like two or three coats of purple and a coat of clear on here. I'm going to scrape this away just so the glue can get in there and bite in the plastic. Okay. Now, I can't use the extra thin because if I use the extra thin, I run the risk of it actually running down and getting onto the actual hinge. And I definitely don't want that. So I'm going to use my thicker glue. And we're going to take one of these. See which way that's supposed to go. So this guy goes there, okay? So we're going to do one at a time here. Take a little bit of glue and just put a little dab right there. There, just a tiny little dab. And now, the tricky part. This guy goes there, and then just kind of rotate him into his spot. Like that. There we go. There's one hinge in. Hinge in. We got a hinge in. There we go. I'll try to do the same this side. Just a tiny little dab of glue. That's all I need. Dab of glue. Just need a dab of glue. Rotate it the right way onto there, flip him over, put him into his spot. There we go. Okay. So now we wait. And we see how this turns out later. Okay. So, that being said, that's all done. So, the other thing I wanted to do today was get our hood assembled, just for the sake of seeing what it looks like when it's all put together. Right? That's kind of just what I wanted to do. The hood, I'm 100% sure our hood is not going to fit over the engine. 100%. But I want to get it assembled anyway just to see. It looks like even the hood has hinges for opening up the flaps, opening up the doors here. But I want to get it assembled. I want to see what it looks like when it's all together. And I already have the pieces, 4 of the pieces already put aside here. They're not even painted. Well, they're primed, but that's it. So anyway, we're going to take these. I got to find number 76 and 77 F and R. So let's see. Let's find these pieces. This is 72, whatever the heck that's for. That's got to be for the truck cab. It's not any of these. And it's nothing off of this. This is all engine stuff. These look like, let's see, what are these numbers here? Number 80. This is number 80, so I am going to need these two, just not right now. And then we've got B79, whatever these are for. Oh, that's for those. Okay. There's A and B79. That's for this. So I am going to need this little section here. So I'm just going to do this. Bang. But I need to find this. Oh, 77s they're chrome. So let's look on the chrome tree here. I still don't have 76. Oh, 76 is chrome also. Okay. And that's this right here. Okay, there's 76. I need 77 F and R. Ah, here we go. These two. This is the F. And this is the R. Okay. So, we need to... One of these pieces gets the center guy glued into him. So these are going to go like this. This guy, we got to get rid of the chrome, otherwise the glue's not going to stick. So let's get the chrome off of this edge. Okay, that's good enough. And he's going to glue in to this little slot right here, just like this. Doesn't quite fit properly, and I'm guessing it's because of the chrome on the edge here. There we go. Okay. So, glue. Just like that. Okay. And then we get these guys are going to glue to this, but not to that, so we get a hinge action going here. Now we got a pin sticking out, and they show that. That's good. There's supposed to be a hole here, but it looks like I've got some flash in there, and that our hole has been filled in with the chrome. Same with this one. It's supposed to go on this little peg, but the hole has been filled in here. That kind of defeats the purpose of there being any hole. And it's actually filled in enough that I'm going to have to drill it out. I'm going to have to use a drill bit. Let's see, is that going to be... I don't need a bit that big. I can do something a little smaller. This looks like a good size. So let's drill this out. I might have to go a little bigger to actually get this to work. Let's see. Now I got a hole there, and that's what we need. I think the hole needs to be a little bigger though. And now with that hole, I can kind of widen it up here. With my knife. fits on there. Good. Okay, that's one. Our front one has the same problem. It's just totally filled in with chrome. There's no actual hole. There's a kind of a divot or an indent where it looks like there's supposed to be a hole, but there's nothing. So let's actually make a hole. Just kind of widen it a little bit here. And test fit. Yep, good. Okay. So, to get this to glue onto the hood, we got to get rid of the chrome on this side, on the flat piece. Okay, there's that. And then do it on this one too. Let's get rid of our chrome, scrape that off. There we go. Okay, so our first one, this guy, let's get our hoods lined up here. This guy goes like this. And this guy goes like that. Okay. A little dab of glue here. Grab this guy, make sure he's the right way around. It's literally just a hinge that sits on the end. Just like that. Okay, and he's going to go like that, which means the other one I kind of I have to put the two sides of the hood together and then kind of slide him in a spot properly. So I'm going to just kind of do this. Almost need three hands here. So if I hold him maybe like this, get this guy positioned. Something like this. The whole idea is to have this so it stays together as one piece. But hinged. It doesn't really line up all that great. There's a lot of play in it. It's definitely not a precise fit at all. See? Definitely not a precise fit. I'm going to, the little tab that these line up on, I'm going to shave this off so that our little hinge just can sit where it needs to and have a flat surface. Okay. where'd my hinge go? There it is. So get this lined up. This guy. I want it tight, so if that's where it needs to be tight, then so be it. There we go. Okay, so we're going to let that sit. I've got some movement back here that I was not intending, which means I need to use a little bit of thin now. Let's get this to stay. And get it lined up again. Get back on there. Okay, we're just going to hold that for a sec, take a sip of coffee, and just have some patience. The next thing we need to do is glue hinges onto number 81 and 78. That's these two pieces. Okay, so in theory, let's go with this. Why did you move? Don't move. Okay, let that sit. We'll deal with these guys. We need to put hinges on these. I don't even know which one is 78 and which one's 81. These were loose in the box, so I don't even know which is which. I guess one has a, no, they both have the same detail on them. So I don't know which is which. I'm going to say this is this one, and this is this one. Okay. So I need these hinges. They're going to go on there. So we need B and A, 79. I don't think it makes any difference, really. Although this one, they really did a terrible job at the molding. Same with this one. We even have a little frickin', like, looks like ejector pin on it. Get these guys off of here. Okay. All right. So these guys, they've tried to put little tabs on here to fit these guys in to give them somewhere solid to mount, but it's a real, they just did an awful job at molding these. There's all kinds of flash everywhere on this, and the hole isn't even where it's supposed to be. Our holes are supposed to be on the inside so that this can line up on the pins here. Okay. But on this particular guy, where's my, on this particular one, there's the hole, and that's on the flat edge. The flat edge, the thin side, and not the fat side that's supposed to lay down on that. So this literally has to go with no, it's supposed to go like this. and there's nowhere to glue it. It's just a tiny little edge. It's just like they totally molded that one wrong. This one works, sitting like that. That's fine. I'm basically going to have one hinge that doesn't work at all. So there's one, just like that. That sits in perfect. This one is almost as bad. It's got a bunch of flash on it, but it's not really that. Well, it is actually. All that flash on there makes it so it's not going to mount. But at least this one will work. Again, just put it right there. Here we go. Once again, it's not the best fit, but it works. Okay, and now we have our one that's going to work. I'll put it on this one. It goes right there. Just like this. Now I find it funny how they have us doing this, but they actually got to go in on these guys. And how do you get that in there now that it's glued? You know what I mean? So this is going to go in like this, which means this goes like this, which is like this way. So I'm going to put this in here like this on this guy, which means I got to pull this hinge out to get him in on that pin. Put it back down. And in fact, this is a little too wide. So our hinges are now, instead of the hinges sitting like this, they're sitting like this. And then we have this guy. This is a whole nother problem on this guy. This guy's got his own issue going on because his hinge is totally wrong. I'm basically just gonna put the hinge on here on the edge, this, and this is wrong, way around. And that's how this one needs to go. Okay, so this is kind of drying now. So we can take this door, pivot our hinge, and this is going to line up in the side of this tab here, like this. So we can put some glue along here. and then put this down in there. It's not the not really the best fit, is it? This whole thing is really gimmicky. Now, if I was building this for real and I intended the hood to go on, I would just glue all these pieces together and not have them with all these hinges. That's what I would do, because this is just stupid. The fit on this is not right. They don't line up. They don't go together properly. It's all just a big mess. It just doesn't fit right at all. If I take a little clamp and hold it on there, let me see here. There we go. So this is coming apart now. So this doesn't line up properly, like at all. It feels like it's not touching anything. And this other side is going to be even worse. Well, I don't know if it's worse, but it's definitely not what it needs to be in terms of fitment. Where's another pin here? It didn't work at all. There. So those need to wait. This one might be okay now, but it's really just a super hokey system. We take this, we get an idea of how it's supposed to go together. This would go like that, and it'd be over top like this. Of course, my engine is way, way, way too big. There's no way that this would ever go over top, right? So, yeah. Anyway, I just wanted to see what the hood would look like, and how it all goes together. I wanted to see how that looks, just as a little experiment kind of thing. My pin won't go back in my pin vise. What's the matter with you? I find sometimes this guy's just a little too big for his hole. There we go. Put these away before I lose them. Okay. Well, guys, there's the hood. That's the really sad hood situation. It would be nice if it fit together better, but it doesn't. And that's why I would, if I was doing, like I said, if I was doing this for real, I wouldn't bother with the hinge parts. I would just, excuse me, I would just glue them together. Okay, so that's that. That actually is, other than that, we can do headlights. We've got our headlights to put together. I've already taken this little rod off of there, our main headlights, because I wanted to see if they would actually fit or if I need to modify this rod to fit in front of the motor. And as it turns out, they fit great. It fits just perfectly. But I gotta get the actual headlights, these two, off of here. Get these guys, whoops, off of there. I want to see, just out of curiosity, our radiator shroud. I'm just curious with the shroud. The shroud goes over the top of the radiator like this. That. Now that would have looked kind of neat to have that sitting there in front of the engine like this, right? But it's really not, it's not going to fit, it's not going to work at all. But that would be kind of funny to have that. Okay, headlights. I've got to trim, I've got to clean these up. It is a little unfortunate they didn't give us clear lenses. Clear lenses would have looked a lot nicer and wouldn't have had, you know, unsightly nub marks that need to be cleaned up, which just by cleaning them up, it takes them off of the chrome, or takes the chrome away, which then needs to be touched up later if you are so inclined. You don't have to. Of course not. It's your model. Do what you want, right? Okay, so they do kind of have a little notch there that's got to line up with a notch on the inside of the bucket. So let's just take a look at our fit. And it doesn't fit. Let's try it this way. Normally I expect it to kind of slot into a little notch and it fits nice, and suddenly it fits flush, but we're not getting that at all. It's not sitting flush. So I've got to trim away some of this on this side. I think this is the issue. The other thing is we've got to get rid of the chrome on the back of this. Otherwise, the glue ain't going to hold. So we're going to go all the way around the edge of this with our file. Or at least most of the way anyway. You know, really you only need a couple of spots, but let's try that. Now that I've shaved that down, let's see how flush this fits. Let's get it the right way around. It's actually, that's not the problem. The light actually hits the rod, so then it doesn't fit flush here. So I gotta carve this side away. As much as I appreciate Revell trying to give us a bit of a guide in the fitment, they failed with this. Now we're flush. Oh no, we're not. Still not flush. I'm gonna have to just file this whole thing down flat on the back. Like this. So that I've got a flat surface. Just totally flatten it out. Smooth. If you're doing this, it's a good idea to turn it around and make sure you're flat. It's very easy to just totally miss it and you don't even realize. And then, hey, suddenly I'm fitting flush. Good. This also means I need to get rid of the chrome on this side. Be careful, be careful. Go lightly on it. We do have a very delicate rod we're dealing with here, and I don't want to break that rod. So that's really all I need. Okay. So, which way is up? I want to have these. So that is the upside. Sorry here. This is up. Okay. So that's the direction it's supposed to go. So that goes like this. Take some thin. There. Now that we're in, make sure it's straight. Now without that guide, it is easy to get these kind of crooked and cockeyed. It looks like I got it good. We're glued in. Get it straight here again. There we go. One headlight done. Still not straight. There we go. One headlight done. Okay, just like that. Okay, so I obviously got to work on that one. I'll do that off camera. I'll continue working on this, but this is where I'm going to have to end it for today, guys, because I got to get going here. So, with that being said, I want to thank you guys for watching. Thanks for coming out. Just while I'm finishing up here and ending this, I'll take the tape off of my tailgate. Remember, guys, to check out the links in the description box down below. And on my Instagram, you'll find pictures of all my stuff that I've built in the past. Every time I finish a project, I upload a few pictures of it when it's all done, and I put that on my Instagram. I did just realize recently, actually, that my messaging on my Instagram was blocked. So if you guys were trying to message me on Instagram, I apologize for that. But it's open now. You can send me a message on Instagram if you feel like it. Anyway, here's our tailgate. Let's take a look. And the hinge works. That's cool. I don't know how often that's just going to open up and hang on me, but it does work. Okay. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for coming out. And we'll see you all in the next one.